What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 8 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Karl Franz campaign. So as we saw last time, Karl, in attacking Arnell, was able to deploy his Imperial Foot Reiksguard Knights for the first time, which did pretty darn well, and are very nice units in general. And that also finished up the Wasteland territory and destroyed the Marienburg faction for good, which is also quite nice, and now leaves us with, I believe, only the Warherd of the One Eye, only Khazrak that we're fighting, which I guess decides what we're going to do next. To the Black Pit we go. Though I guess we could go this way so that we can move together with Wolfram here. Also, Karl, you did leave 1 point left over at the end of last episode, and that's going to go into Leader of Men, not so much for the Leadership Aura, but for the upkeep reduction. Not that in the early game the Leadership Aura isn't a bad thing to have either. And then next we'll go for the upgrades for those greatswords, especially as we'll be building a few more shortly. Now, what do we still have to do this turn? Let us see. Helmgart and Fort Berg-Bray, you're both fine as you are. We do still want to get a couple crossbows and Peter here and his army, but I feel like we maybe don't want to use that money up right now. We have to save up for a gunsmith, or for the upgrade to the barracks, or the upgrade to Eilhart. Basically, there's a lot of stuff that we want to upgrade here. So maybe we can hold off for at least a turn or so. So in that light, what else do we have to do this turn? Maybe just end it. Well, actually, Wolfram Custerman can still move. But do we risk moving to the Black Pit? That's the real question. Well, Khazrak would instantly be able to kill this little excuse for an army, but unless I'm mistaken, Khazrak should be here, right? Because the last time he destroyed Weissman, so he would have been stuck after raising it right outside it. So he might be safe. You know what? We'll move up in ambush, that's what we'll do. Hopefully he won't spot us. We'll just move along this road right here.
My journey begins.
And then hopefully that'll be safe. Then we'll send Karl up. Oh, well, next turn. We'll send Karl up next turn, probably in March stance. This might also allow us to hit the Black Pit with Karl moving up in March right after, especially if Khazrak goes down to Karoberg or Middenstag or something like that. But we will have to keep an eye on him in case he tries to retake Eilhart again. And, well, I guess what we'll do is we'll save getting the Borderman until we find him, and just in case, to add that little bit of extra firepower to a defender if it's needed. Anyway, with that, we'll check out Diplomacy, and then we'll end the turn. Carrick Norn, we are not going to get a non-aggression pact with, because the Wood Elves hate us. And actually, speaking of the Wood Elves, let's see, Talzin, you're currently at war with Broken Axe, who we are not. We might be able to get something going with you for that. Torgavon's not at war with any. Arguelon's only at war with Carrick Norn, who we may want to cancel our agreement with shortly. Especially because they're gonna die. They will never survive. They never do. Yeah, okay, so we have several options. First of all, let's go Talzin. And we will join your war against Broken Axe. Minus 3.6. Okay, what about... we could do a military access. Yeah, sure. Additional relationship growth via that, plus a little bit of extra money. Yes. And then, speaking of extra money, we currently have 1,800. If we only get 400 more, like 350 more, we could start upgrading our barracks right away. And I do like that very much. Alright, what can we do? Let's try our dwarfen friends. You, Karazakarak. You are currently fighting Red Eye, Clan Verms, and Crooked Moon Verms. What if we join your war against Verms? You would not be willing to do military access with us. What about money, though? Yeah, 1,200 money. Is this worth it? It'll increase our relationship with them, if nothing else. Yeah, you know what, that's fine. We'd probably end up fighting Verms, and it's probably better to declare war on them early, rather than waiting for them to declare war on us, or for them to die. And they're most likely gonna die or get confederated by whatever's out there, so might as well get some money for it. Now we definitely do have enough money and can upgrade you barracks, or we could build you kilns to get that extra campaign movement range, or we could go straight gunsmith. Though I think if we're going to recruit Reiksguard, we might as well recruit Greatswords at the same time and just modify Karl's army heavily, especially as he gets these guys for, let's say... Oh, where's Karl? 102 currently for Greatswords. Yeah, only 30 more gold expensive per turn than the Swordsman. That's a pretty huge... that's a pretty huge buff. And 125 for Reiksguard, yeah, we gotta recruit all those guys. Fill Karl's army up with them. He'll be very strong. Now, is there anything else we want to do? You know what? I'm a little bit concerned about Kurun. Here. But then is there anything that we could do about it? Maybe, maybe not. Oh, you know what? You, get off that horse. I forgot to do that last episode. You are not on a horse. You are on a horse. And let's just take a look at our items as well. We have an Iron Curse icon that we could give you if we wanted to. Karl is currently using the Potion of Healing, and he will continue to do so. Yeah, just take the Iron Curse icon. Probably not crazy valuable, but it's better than nothing, right? And any ancillaries not being used, we have an extra Hedge Wizard that we can't give to anybody, and an extra Entertainer that can also not be given to anybody, so that's a no. Alrighty, well then, let's end the turn. Unless I've forgotten something, you can have Scouting. Because you don't have mana to upgrade your other stuff. Now we can end the turn. And let's see if Kazarak shows. If he does or if he doesn't, it will change nothing, because we're gonna send Karl down to the Black Pit. I guess what might happen is our ambush could get foiled, but then hopefully we could just retreat? What is this? Oh, these guys are attacking again. They really want to get through that fort. Okay, well, good luck to them. Oh. And this will kill a bunch of units. Okay, fine. We're gonna manually fight this then. If this was vanilla and the garrisons, they repaired themselves or they healed up as fast as they did in vanilla, I wouldn't bother fighting this, but allowing our units to get killed will mean that they won't be healed up for like 5 turns or whatever. Because SFO healing is quite slow for garrisons. And thus I don't want to risk it. Because these guys will still be at like half HP by the time the undead come back with another full stack. Alrighty, let's just do this quick. I'm probably going to speed through this, but we can watch some of it. Let's go crossbows. And... we need a crossbow here. No, you know what? Let's do crossbows here. Let's do crossbows here. Let's do crossbows here. Then we'll do a unit of archers here. We'll do... I don't like that. I don't like that. Let's do gunners here. Like so. Archers here. Archers here. Or here, I guess it doesn't really matter all that much. I think that's fine. Archers here, and then archers, let's say... I don't know, here? Do that. Then, we have an extra crossbow, do we not? How many crossbows have we used? Wait, we have... oh, we actually have 3 more. Oh, wow. Okay, wait, we gotta put these in good places. Let's put one right here. We'll put additional gunner unit right here, where it can actually fire and not get screwed over. Yeah. Alrighty, and do we need more than one crossbow here? Maybe, maybe not. Where are you? You know what? We could put you here instead of those archers. Since they're wasted there. Make a little bit more space for more crossbows to fit then. And then I accidentally moved the wrong gunner unit, so we can put you there. And then I guess we could put this archer here instead. And since we have an additional crossbow and an additional archer, we can put you there. Alright, lovely. And then we have an additional free archer, effectively. That we could put, I guess, here. Or here. Probably will make no difference. I guess we could gun down those wolves. Oh, we can't actually reach those wolves. Or dire doggos. Fine, go there and go after those skeleton warriors. Lovely. And that's about it. Now it's time for melee and towers. Towers, obviously, we're going to go for the 800 point splash damage tower. You're going to go for the basic tower. We're going to take you. I'm going to keep you in the center until we know where you're needed, although it's very likely that you'll be needed over on this side. Actually, wait, the enemy had Cairn Wraiths in this army, didn't they? Yeah, we'll want to see where they go. Because we'll probably want Grand Soulfire on them. Let's put a spear unit here. A spear unit on this side, I guess, in case the enemy climbs. Then we will go, let's say, a couple sword units behind here. One of the great things about fighting the undead is that they have no recourse in terms of having no extra units that can fire at our pikemen that are facing away from them. At our melee units, basically. And you know what? You go up here just to reinforce in case you need to. And you should probably do the same thing over on this side as well. Well, you know, it's probably fine. It'll probably make no difference. Alright, good enough. Start battle. I guess we don't really need to control this particular battle, really, at all. As the enemy will just try to breach the walls, and we're just gonna watch. So here we go. Would be nice to get those cannon towers, or those clockwork bomb towers up and running. But it'll probably be a while before we can do so. You guys want to focus down those ghouls rather than those other units? And oh, right, I forgot to put an extra unit here. Swords, go up here, please. And you guys can fill in... Probably replace those crossbows, actually, now that I think about it. Anyway, ooh, hello. I see Karen Wraiths. Let's get you back here. And it looks like they're moving up. Okay, well then. You are going to move here. We're going to move the pikes, or actually we're going to move the spears. We have better defenses right there. Pikes are going to move in to help, and you guys are going to go, I guess, here. Hopefully that doesn't force you to get engaged with them. It's kind of unclear whether it does or it doesn't. But I would like you to fire down on them. Anyway, back to this. Oh, that poor Necromancer. Is he going to actually try to climb? I guess it doesn't really matter, because he's going to get gunned down by the gunners and their little crossfire there. Alright, how's the rest of the enemy doing? They're not having a great time. Some Crypt Ghouls have reached our crossbows there, though. They are probably going to stick around. You know what? Let's move you. Actually, no, let's move you, swords, here, because you're actually unhurt, to replace those crossbows. You are going to move up here and get that Grand Soulfire going on those Karen Wraiths. Oh, lovely. Anybody else needed? What is this? Is that another Necromancer? Alright, towers. Work on the Necromancer, actually gunners. Gun down the Necromancer towers. Work on those X-rays instead. And there we go. Yeah, the enemy's in pretty bad shape. Mortar, you want to fire, like, this maybe here. A little bit worried about you hurting our own units. You guys, move away and get replaced by swords, like so. Crossbows, let's have you not getting hurt. Ow, turn off your skirmish mode, please. That's just gonna screw you over. Alright, everything else looks good to me. How's that enemy Necro? Oh, already been gunned down, I take it? Yep, he's already gone. AI. Why are you attacking? Oh, no, wait, he's right here. I missed him. Never mind. Well, let's make sure that he is gone. I'm actually not sure that the gunners can actually reach him here. He's just below this little hilly area. But it will make no difference. Also, how are you doing? Have you killed those Karen Wraiths yet? You wanna... well, they are disintegrating. They have hurt our archers slightly. Archers, move away for a second until these guys are gone. You wanna just use the Grand Soulfire. It'll make them go away faster. Alright, I know I said I was going to, you know, speed through this, but, well, I guess we can watch it a little bit more. And those poor Karen Wraiths and Hex Wraiths are going to be gone again before they can achieve anything. I will be curious to see whether they survive this time. But judging the AI's luck, it looks like they like to survive. What are you doing, zombies? They're not even climbing, they're just standing down there. And the orders might have failed. The AI might have ordered them to be climbing up here, but they refused to do so. Happens to me all the frickin' time. And hello, if it isn't somebody to actually have our melee lords fight. Alright, move here, please. And get ready to fight this guy. You want to fire down on him, though? Say you and you, tower. And let's move, let's say you guys, out here so that we can make sure to fight the lord. I take it he belongs to that second army. Otherwise, our walls are pretty much safe at this point. The gate is... oh, they're actually trying to break through that gate, eh? You know what? We could send you to help out. Move in out of the gate and actually attack those guys. Looks like this guy's probably casting. Oh, he's summoning a unit of zombies, gonna try to raise some dead. Maybe these guys will actually start climbing. Oh, I can also mortar them a little bit. Like so. Hopefully the mortar doesn't hurt our own units too badly. In fact, it looks like these guys are going to start climbing, so we may want to target the mortar elsewhere. You, however, can keep targeting these guys. Tower, kill. Archers, kill, or rather crossbows, kill. Everybody else looks good to me. Crossbows set up like so and try to arc over what we've got going on. Battle should be over fairly soon, actually. You guys get out of the gate and attack these crypt ghouls. Don't allow them to move. They're actually going to probably crumble away shortly. Are they going to try to run away once the gate is opened? Oh, they were maybe trying to attack the gate. Buff everybody up, including yourselves. And these guys are crumbling. Yeah, I don't know why the auto-resolve decided that it was going to kill a bunch of our units for this. Really did not seem that necessary. Mortar, try not to kill more of our units than the enemy did, please. Always a risk. I do like the fact that SFO has set it up so that the enemy is a lot more inclined to attack these territories, as in defensive settlements, rather than just sieging them forever. It would have been annoying to have them just constantly sit here and siege those. Especially because it wouldn't make sense for this place to actually ever lose attrition to a siege, because it's a one-way area. This place should be immune to siege attrition altogether, because supplies come in from the Empire, not from the gap that is on the Bretonnian side. Yeah. Oh, well. Either way, it doesn't matter, the battle is ours. We have a decisive victory and probably not all that much in the way of damage. About 100 units lost out of 2,600. Closer to 27, actually. And let's see. Taking all bets now. Hex Wraiths and Karen Wraiths. How many of them survived? As in, did one survive, did both survive, or did neither? I'm gonna say both of them survived again, because that's the AI's luck. Alright, come on, game. We'll get a proper cinematic battle shortly, and yeah, both of them survived. Well, go figure. And the enemy lord did as well, or at least one of them, and their necromancer did as well. Get a nice amount of cash out of this as well, though. And if they keep doing it, they can keep feeding us cash. And, oh, hello. If it isn't Kazrak. Okay, well, he is going to move in. It looks like if this is the edge of his range, he couldn't have reached Wolfram here, because this was the edge of our range as well, but we're very close. I do wonder if Karl can move into March stance and be... Scaling. Well. Okay, well, I guess our Archlector is going to have to be left here, then, to defend against the scaling. What is this? Whispers in the dark. Do you hear the whispers? Dangerous winds. Research rate -10 and miscast base chance +20% for all spellcasters. I don't know what this does. Man, I feel like I remember it from old SFO, but I don't know what it does. It is not the end of your journey. Be ashamed of yourself. I'm too tempted. Obviously this is a debuff and it's not so great, but I am just too tempted to know what exactly this leads to, so sure. We hear the whispers. What? Is this related? Oh no, it's just Galmaraz, okay. We'll give the quest battle a read once we get to it. We also have the Middenland Confederation offered, which we did get them to max fealty last episode, so that makes sense. Let's give this a quick read though, because it does seem that they are different. Great strides have been made in your relationship with the state of Middenland of late. The Elector Count, Boris Todbringer, has approached you with an offer of confederation. The Grand Duke of Middenland rules over a land that traditionally has a strong bureaucracy, dominating its neighbor states through economic and military power. Middenheim, the greatest city of the north, is home to the cult of Ulrich's Great Temple. Will you accept Middenland's offer of confederation? Not yet. Assert independence for now, get a little bit more imperial authority. We'll save it for Gelt. And additional authority. But in 20 turns we might, though we may want to target Talabekland as the first place to confederate. What we'll actually probably do is take a look at the Imperial supply units first, and see which ones we would be better off getting earlier. Hawkland long rifles and Nuln Ironsides are probably going to be pretty key as fast as we can get. I'm not sure that we care about the Knights as much. Sutzen's guns are always a great option though, because they don't hurt our own units. And that's pretty strong for a mortar. Though I think they have less damage than regular mortars, don't they? 275 versus...
Bring me to my men.
309, but you might be getting that due to an upgrade. Anyway, in the meantime... Kazrak,
To Sigmar.
can we attack you? You can. Can Karl?
Nation calls.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. He's just out of range. Wow, Kazrak. It's almost like he did that on purpose. But he couldn't have known we were in ambush. You gotta be kidding me. Well, okay, there's another option.
Is my right
Wait,
to
what?
buy Sigmar's crown.
Huh, we switched to March stance and now we are in range. Okay, never mind. And I was all sad for a second there. We're gonna put you here. Light forest terrain, eh? Wait. Are we actually close enough here? I don't know. This is kind of risky. Well, try it.
March.
I'm hoping that this is still in range. Because if we fight him, it's better if we do so in grassland rather than forest. And yes, we are in range. Beautiful. All right, here we go. Kazrak.
Battle.
Close victory. He is willing to fight. He will most likely run away after this. Karl is, of course, in March stance, which is dangerous. I should have gotten the bordermen in here. But it's too late now. I got too excited about the fight. Oh well, and we'll get them for the fight for Kazrak's settlement. We just got to make sure that we don't lose this army, or I guess we can try to retreat it before fighting. Anyway, grassland is the place of choice here. Forest would have been to the enemy's advantage. Let's do this thing. Oh, and he's winded too. We're in March stance, but he's winded as well. I didn't even realize he was in raiding. Lovely.
I have my orders. Let's get this over with.
Alrighty, you do have your orders, and your orders are to hold if Kazrak decides to attack. Now, regardless of what the auto-resolve may say here, we have to remember that this is in fact quite dangerous because we are in March stance, and thus just like last time that Kazrak attacked, and that he attacked our army when it was in March stance, we could suffer very heavy losses, especially as his army has probably grown in veterancy and Kazrak has increased in rank since then, and on top of that I do believe we're still slightly damaged in the main army. On the bright side though, I was thinking that we would deploy here in case the enemy decided to immediately attack us, and what would happen is essentially the rest of our forces would get surrounded and our Arch-Elector would try to pop off a Grand Soulfire and then run away to Karl's army. The reason that I didn't want to deploy them here was that if we forced the enemy army to attack us here, they would essentially stop us as we were able to get off from the map from the reinforcements. That made absolutely no sense. That was the least eloquent way to put that. As we entered the map, as our reinforcements entered the map, the enemy would have essentially blocked us off and hurt us badly. Hence we deployed here and then hid the rest of our range units over here, as I expect I wanted these guys to survive, whereas these guys could hold the ground and allow for a Grand Soulfire. Fortunately for us, it did not happen. Kazrak decided not to attack, and yes, it was unlikely that he would straight up go into the attack considering we attacked him, but A, he did actually try to take the battle. He didn't try to back off, which means he does think he has a chance. And B, I've definitely seen the AI, when on the defensive, still try to attack. Granted, usually when you annoy them with long range, but there are occasions where it does seem to want to attack regardless. Anyway, on the bright side, this will allow us to take our sweet time and form up on this nice little hill where we will have a fairly decent advantage, both via our crossbows as well as our handgunners firing through the gaps in our formations as well as down into the enemy below. Our mortar is going to move forward, however, by itself, and it is going to start annoying the enemy with the hopes that we can force the entire enemy army to come to us and to break themselves trying to take our hill here. Nice deployment. And on top of that, we do have this broken tower all the way up here, which is quite nice to have, as well as the edge of the map right after the broken tower, which means that the enemy can't go and flank us on this side, so we really only have to protect this flank. Now, quickly before the battle is joined, our setup here. So out in front, we have our 2 swordsman units that started off with the Archlector's army, so they are fresh and eager, and they are not very tired like our main host is. Of course, behind them is our main melee units, including the Sigmar Sons and the Great Swords, though, wait a second, how can the Great Swords be tired? They have perfect vigor. What are you talking about, game? That shouldn't be... Huh? I thought that shouldn't be possible. March stance aside, shouldn't they have, This unit never loses vigor. Clearly, they've lost some vigor if they're tired. Odd. That does seem a little bit odd. That seems unintentional to me, but if somebody can explain what's going on here, do let me know. Granted, they aren't very tired, so it seems like they've essentially moved up a couple of points, right? So they went up from very tired to tired instead. Odd. Odd, but whatever. Anyway, everybody's tired, everybody's gonna have to try to hold the ground. We also have deployed all of our Free Company militia over on one side, together with our halberdiers. Karl is moving here, and the Reiksguard are moving over here as well. Since this is the only flank that we have to protect, it does look like the AI is also going to be sending all of its chariots to this flank. They are probably the most threatening units on the field other than Khazrak himself, mostly because they can disrupt our formations and screw us over in that regard, which is why we're going to want to charge them with Karl, as well as with our Reiksguard, as fast as possible. We're also going to move one of our units of handgunners in order to try to get some shots off before these guys can charge. Here come the enemy Warhounds as well, but we are going to countercharge them with our Archlector, just to blunt their charge as well. I can see in the background we have a Spirit Leech coming in, and it does look like these guys don't want to charge our main line directly, which works perfectly well, rather, for us. Archlector will stop them in their place, and then we can move in our halberds and stuff to attack them. Over on this side, our Free Company militia are rushing forward. They're pretty good against chariots, mostly because they can fire directly at them, and they have armor piercing, fire while they move, I mean. And between Karl and the Reiksguard, it looks like these guys are going to be in pretty bad shape fairly quickly. So we've already stopped the major threat by the looks of it. The Warhounds are stuck fighting the Archlector together with his halberdiers and swordsmen. 2 of the chariots have been destroyed so far, and it looks like a few more will follow. Actually, 1 of the chariots has been destroyed so far, but a few more will follow shortly as they're losing HP. And they are getting gunned down by handgunners and by Free Company. And there we go. They can charge in there, but they'll explode in a matter of seconds, I think. There we go. They are now already routing, and Karl's gonna charge in to make sure that they're gone. So while this side is looking pretty good, the other side is getting attacked. We did manage to get a spell off, having the HP on a couple of Ungors with our Wizard Theon. But it does look like Khazrak does ignore most of the enemy and is going to charge through to stop our handgunners from firing. A little bit unfortunate. That said, it does seem that all of our troops continue to hold the hill, and thus we still have a pretty major advantage. On top of that, our Archlector has spotted 4 units standing and fighting together, which is a terrible idea on their part, as while he was not able to get that Grand Soul Fire off here that we planned originally, we can get it off here instead. Move as deep into that formation as possible, there we go, and then get ready for that Soul Fire. Now let's see how much damage this does. These guys are all at full HP, or at least close to it. They haven't taken much damage. This is going to be a pretty wide area of effect. May not be as strong as Volkmar's, mind you, but pretty strong nonetheless. We can see all those Ungors exploding. Making me wish we had a Pit of Shades to pop right there as well. Alrighty, and by the looks of it, that one Soul Fire did, let's see, 200 kills, and if I could select you, buddy, at some point, please, 23k damage roughly from that one spell. Very, very nice, and that completely saves this flank and will allow our Free Company to move in and chase those troops down, also go after the enemy Ungor Raiders, as well as allow the Reiksguard to continue killing those chariots so that they hopefully cannot come back. Kazrak is still fighting, but he is actually at half HP now, occasionally taking shots from our handgunners here. While he has managed to stop a few of them from firing, he can only pick one, and while he picks one, the other one will continue shooting him, so over time he will get wrecked. Of course, Karl is going to make sure that that happens a little bit faster. The wizard's going to move in to blind Kazrak while Karl hits him from the side, and hopefully our units will run away. And yeah, it looks like we can chase him down now. He's in pretty darn bad shape, and a few more hits from Karl should finish him off as well. And the enemy is, however, close to breaking through the lines here. One of our swordsman units is routing, and it does look like this is where the battle will be decided. But considering the amount of range units we still have firing on the enemy, and the fact that their entire right flank collapsed, we should be looking pretty damn good. I'm gonna quickly retarget Kazrak with our handgunners here. Do want to bring him down if possible. There we go, firing into his back. Come on, one more volley, guys. There you go, down he goes. And perhaps if we can reach the Black Pit, we won't be able to, or we won't seek him again. Minotaurs were our next target, but they're actually trying to run away. Gonna get another breath on the enemy routing units. We got some Warhounds still fighting here, but probably not for much longer either, as all of the archers switch to targeting them. And there we go, and with the death of their lord, and oh, there's some discouragement on some of those units, nice. It looks like the enemy army is done for. I'm going to now try to make sure that all of the critical units, or the high-value units, get destroyed as they run away, which means Karl chasing after those Minotaurs, and we're going to add a little bit of extra damage with the Archlector as well. And then it'll be any ranged units that we can catch, which the Free Companies are currently chasing around while shooting, of course, and the same thing goes for the Reiksguard. There is still a Bestigor herd, and we are trying to give chase to it with the Celestial Wizard, but I decided to chase after the Bray Shaman instead, because those Spirit Leechers were quite annoying. Can't be letting him get those off again. Oh, I like that his color scheme is in the color of his lore. He's a Death Lore Bray Shaman, and he's got all these purple trappings all over him. That's quite nice. Alrighty, well, hopefully Karl and our Archlector can bring him down. Let's see that death animation, if they manage to pull it off. Now, don't knock him towards the edge of the map, guys. Come on now. And he is not getting back up, so it looks like we did manage to kill him. Beautiful. Well, the rest of this can be sped up, and I do imagine that we should have at least halved this army. A few units will have escaped, well, actually a decent amount of the enemy Ungors, at the very least, will have escaped, and all of the Warhounds will probably have escaped. But without Kazrak, without their Minotaurs, without their Bray Shaman, their elites gone, I don't imagine that Black Pit stands too much of a chance. Man, that whole thing was such a roller coaster. Will Kazrak attack? Will he not attack? Or will he move to our territory? And then will he attack Wolfram as he is deployed on the map, even if we are in an attacking position and he's in a defensive, etc, etc, etc. Surprisingly little amount of treasury and stuff that we got out of this, and same with prestige, considering it's a, well, I mean, it's still an early game army with a lot of Ungors and stuff, but we were in March stance, so that should have decreased our capabilities here. Anyway, we're going to pardon those captives, that is for sure. And how far can this guy run away? Alright, still... And, oh, right, you have the defeated Kazrak trait now as well. Well, that's lovely. You could chase after him, but you don't have the army to actually bring the rest of that down, unfortunately. I don't think. At the very least, I doubt. With the amount of troops that you have left, it seems unlikely. I'm a little bit tempted to give it a try, but these guys just plain won't hold. Even with the bordermen, who would be able to probably do a massive amount of damage, how exactly would we be killing the Beastmen Warhounds? What will happen is most likely they will retreat to the Black Pit, and then we'll just attack them with them there. But I'd rather not risk this army. Well, quote-unquote army. Alrighty, so then I want you, my friend, to go into, let's say, in camp stance, and then move right back beside Karl. I would imagine that Karl will be able to move to Black Pit next turn, right? Kinda hard to say, actually. Well, judging by how far his march stance will be able to take him, I think that he can. But let's just keep you near Karl just in case. Maybe a little bit more forward. Yeah, here's what we'll do. We'll keep you forward so that you can attack these guys if they try to attack you. If they ambush you, or in case they do, let's just get the bordermen in here. Though I guess the bordermen won't be all that useful in an ambush. But maybe we could try to run away in that particular case. It would be really annoying to lose the bordermen right away. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Well, from you... What do you want? You want to get... Would anything really help us here? The thing is, we don't know what exactly we're going to do with this army. I'm thinking it'll be a Sigmarite army, just straight up Sigmarites. We could get the Root Marcher, which would help, though. Nah, let's get Root Marcher. Might as well. We could also start building you out to be an actual fighter. While we wait for the type of troops that we're inevitably going to get in here. On the other hand, wait, Emperor's Finest buffs both the Spear's Swords, as well as Flagellants and Sigmarite Disciples. Oh, which means we're free to get Emperor's Finest as well. Alright, well, you can stay there, I guess. A little bit concerned about this guy possibly ambushing you. But what would we do? I think we can't, we probably can't actually move far enough away that he can't reach you, and at least this way we're beside Karl, so we're a little bit safer. Anyway, that, between those two attacks we have a decent amount of cash, which means we can do several things. First of all, you are going to get kilns, you are also going to get that gunsmith up and running, and, we're just a little bit short of upgrading the town here. I guess we could forego the kilns, but I do like the campaign movement range. Is there any way we could get more via diplomacy, perhaps? Kirak Norn, Karazakarak, we could try to declare war on another one of your enemies, if we really wanted to. But would that be too much? I'm not sure. Because the other AIs would see us as weaker by virtue of us being in so many wars already, which might accelerate Lewin attacking us. And we're gonna be busy at least for a few more turns before we can turn towards Britonia. So maybe that's not the way to do it. You know what, let's forego the kilns for a turn. We can upgrade them next turn, whereas it's better to upgrade the town now because it's a tier 5, and we do want this. And it's gonna take 8 turns at least, under the assumption that we actually have enough money when that actually occurs. We probably also want to keep recruiting for you guys, but... I mean, we can certainly get 1 crossbow, but I feel like we should still probably save money for the port and for the kilns to keep building out Altdorf. As long as Lewin doesn't attack, but him sitting here makes me extremely nervous. Like, it would be nice if we could get some defensive alliances going. 8.9 with the Ice Court, eh? Are you at war with anybody? You're at war with... Oh, you're at war with Draika. I'm not sure that we want to deal with Draika right now. I guess we just hope that Lewin doesn't attack, and if he does, we'll just have to book it back here and try to reclaim what we've got. I suppose we could build more archers here, but we can still only afford the 1. Better than nothing. And the pikemen do have extra bonus anti-large here for all those knights. How much do your archers cost? 490? It's not that much of a save, to be honest. We're still probably better. Wait, could you build 2 archers? No. You know what, screw it. Just wait the turn then. We'll just hope that they don't attack. Also, you can spend your points. We could get Brass Lungdar now. Let's max out Emperor's Finest. But we're getting... Actually, we're not getting any of use on this except for the spears. But that's fine. What we should also probably do is swap out these these Empire archers for crossbows. Have Recruiter ferry the archers to Peter here, who has the experienced hunter trait. We'll see. Let's end the turn then, shall we? I don't think there's anything else to do. We're going to find out whether this guy tries to ambush Wolfram, or if not, if he returns to Black Pit, then we attack and destroy it. I do have to wonder if he will actually bother to try to defend Black Pit, though. It may be better for him if he survives. Are you guys attacking again? You gotta be kidding me. Okay, I think we can auto-resolve this one. We're not losing any units, and let's just do it. Yeah, it's gonna take us some time. Oh, we got a brass cleaver out of it. Amazing. I'm really glad that we auto-resolved. And finally, the Karen Wraiths die, though the Hex Wraiths do survive. And same with that Necromancer. Oh, this frickin' army. Pardon captives, please. Where's Kaz? Alright, here he is. He is not going to try to ambush. He is going to try to defend Black Pit. That certainly works for me. And there's Clan Worms. We do have to finish up with Kazrak as fast as possible, because we will need to move to Arnau and defend it against the Scaling, who are probably going to be coming down shortly. And what do we have here? The rival states of Talabecland and Averland have been unable to reconcile their differences, and tensions have bubbled over into full-blown war. Elector Count Helmut Feuerbach of Talabecland has declared war on Averland. What action will you take? Gotta stop the war. That's another 1,000 prestige, and which is why we haven't been losing out on all of our prestige, as in we haven't been spending it. Stop the war, yes. Imperial Authority is now up to 6, which is pretty good. Got that free brass, rather, cleaver, but we are going to...
Praise be to Sigmar.
We are going to not keep it on you, buddy. Sorry, but considering Karl's gonna have a bunch of great swords, great cleavers would be real nice in his army. We can't put it on the drag or on Karl himself, but we can give it to you instead of that Sword of Might, which frankly you're not getting any use out of. And acting as an aura does make sense for the Celestial Wizard as well. If we get an Empire Captain or something in here, we can put him in there as well. Anyway, Karl, you are going to march towards Black Pit. Ooh, you can do it in stance trenches. Nice. Get a little bit of a buff there. And since this guy moved there, I have a suspicion that this will be the end of Kazrak's faction. We have a decisive victory available to us, but I guess if that is going to be the last battle, we probably don't want to auto-resolve it. You will also move up in and camp stance, I guess, and you're going to transfer Karl the Borderman. Like so. And let's see, 40 and 49. In fact, we can swap out you two as well. And we can swap out you two. And you have no archers, so we don't need to swap out anything else, but I think that's pretty good. Main army will have a better capabilities here. Now, unfortunately, with that, we're pretty much out of time. Would have been nice to end Kazrak, but I think if this is going to be another cinematic battle, and it will probably take some time to fight it, because they have the garrison as well. They have flying units, they have... Oh, and this is a Beastmen battle, so it's probably going to be a forest battle as well. I think it's always a forest battle when you attack main Beastland territories, isn't it? I could be mistaken, but we'll see. We'll see next time, and it looks like we'll actually have 2 Bestigor units to contend with. Oh, actually, no. 1 Bestigor unit. I really wish this thing wouldn't cover what the garrison is, because I'd really love to know exactly what's in there. But that's okay. Anyway, next time we finish up with Kazrak, destroying him for good. Then we will move out to help out Middenland to reclaim territories, and then I guess we will make the decision as to whether we move to Kurun now, or whether we move towards Festus. Taking Festus out might be decent. Somebody suggested actually farming him for the casualty or punishment trait, which is a decent option as well. It's certainly something that we'll probably want to get on Karl. The real question, though, is will we have the extra time before Lewin attacks us with the extreme dislike that he has of us? And the answer is, well, we don't know. I guess we'll have to chance it either way. We'll build up another army and we'll send it up here to defend Arnau against the Scaling. And I guess we'll also need to start building an army to send out to fight Sylvania as well. Otherwise, they're just going to keep taking territory and screwing up our authority. On top of all that, let's see. We're at 8 with Solend, so we're getting closer to being able to confederate Gelt. And at this point, I think we're probably willing. On the other hand, we could wait the 20 turns, or we could try not giving him fealty until we're at 13 Imperial Authority to try to maintain this, which will give us a significant amount of prestige every turn, plus additional fealty with everybody. Growth control, it's a pretty damn strong buff, and we're quite close to it. I might actually be willing to wait if 20 extra turns for Gelt, if it allows us to get 20, or 10 rather, Imperial Authority. Anyway, I digress. Stay tuned for the last fight against Kazrak, presumably next time. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. Oh, glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.